All right, everybody, class is in session. Professor Anto B is here to teach you guys something. But before we dive into today's lesson, I've got a pop quiz for you. All right, let's see if you're keeping your brain active here. What do these three people have in common? Logan Paul, Sam Bankman-Fried, and Ben Armstrong. If you answered alleged crypto scammers, you are absolutely correct. And that should tie in to what we're going to be talking about today. Because on the long list of crypto scammers that are out there, whether if they've made their own tokens or told people to buy other tokens and ended up pocketing money or causing people to lose money, we've got one more member on that list. And today, that goes to none other than Eli Regalado. So Eli Regalado is a pastor back in Denver, Colorado, and both him and his wife decided to come up with an idea on how to create some wealth, not just for themselves, but for their church community. And what better way than to create your own token for crypto and have your entire parish and the other local divisions within your area invest in this token. Now, it seems like a great idea, right? You have people buy into this token that you created, it builds some wealth, you pull out, you get some money out of it, and then lo and behold, you and your entire commission just profited off of this, and you can use it for whatever lordly needs that you need. However, as with most people who end up creating their own system and have others who are investing into it, sometimes you bite the poisonous apple and realize that that money could be better placed in other stuff, like a house or a car or whatever other material needs that you think would work for you. And him and his wife definitely seemed to agree with that notion because after some time when making this crypto, they ended up pocketing about $1.3 million out of a total of $3.2 million. And you don't even need to hear it from me. You don't need to hear it from a news article. You can hear it from himself blatantly admitting that they pocketed the money.
The charges are that Caitlin and I pocketed $1.3 million, and I just want to come out and say that those charges are true. So there's been $1.3 million that's been taken out of, I think it was a total of $3.4 million. But out of that 1.3, $500,000 went to the IRS, and a few $100,000 went to a home remodel that the Lord told us to do.
Now, how was this a scam? Let's look into it a bit, right? Because even he talks about it and to some degree as well. But there were two main things that really struck it as a complaint-ish sort of stuff. Number one is that he overvalued the crypto. He wanted to make people believe that the crypto was actually going to be worth about $10 to $12, even though the buying price of it at the time was $1.50. And you can't really find, at least I couldn't find any place on to show like its market value. Maybe it's been taken down, I have no idea. But if we go based off of this, then people are clearly assuming that they were going to be making money off of this because they're buying it at such a low price that eventually is going to shoot up to $10. Of course, you're going to be making 10 times the amount of money that you're putting in, so why wouldn't I want to make an investment on this, especially from somebody who I revere within my community, a pastor. But unfortunately, a lot of people ended up getting bit by this bug of trying to make wealth off of this, right? Because 10 times worth your money is quite a lot, right? Depending on how much you invest. If you invest $10,000, that's $100,000 going right back into your pocket. Of course, you can get bewitched by this kind of talk, needless to say. Now, the other thing that was also a red flag was he openly admits that there was no exit strategy.
We sold a cryptocurrency with no clear exit. We did. We took God at his word and sold a cryptocurrency with no clear exit. And so the prosecutors have to take that and say, these people willingly sold a cryptocurrency with no clear exit.
So in a sense, once you put your money in how is it going to come out? How are you going to be able to pull your money out and get your money's worth? Whether if you made money, lost money, or netted, you're not going to be getting anything out of putting your money into this coin. So pretty much it just sat there, and this guy was able to pull the money out for himself and use that money for remodeling his home, getting a new car, getting jewelry for his wife, etc., etc. And that was just, whoo, man. I feel sorry for these people, because you're like, it's again, like a similar vein, right? You have someone like Logan Paul, who is a figure in his community, and he creates something that tells people that they're going to be making money off of it, and they invest in it, and then they lose money out of it, right? It's the same thing, just on a smaller scale and with a different figurehead. You have one person up top who is telling the people down below, you can make money off of this, and then spinning it in a religious way, and then people invest in it, and then they lose. Now, whether if his intentions were to actually scam his parish, or there was a bit of a delusion to it, I don't know. But if you listen to a lot of what he has to say in regards to a lot of these investment plans, you notice that there's one big theme that goes around the entirety of this investment. And it is not stocks, it's not looking at market value, it's not any math or statistics, but blind faith. And by blind faith, I also mean by using Bible passages to encourage people to buy into this crypto scam.
Satan is also speaking, and what he says, it's this is Proverbs 5:1-4. It says, "For the lips of an adulteress," and I used to think that adulteress was just like a wayward woman, and that is true, but it also means a stranger and a layman, someone that's not set apart for holy purposes. So basically, advice, wisdom, hey, you should try this, that does not line up with the word of God. And so, as we've been doing this project, we've gotten a lot of advice from people say, hey, well, here's what Uber did, or hey, here's what this company did, or hey, here's what that company did, right? And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I've started taking that back to the Lord. The Lord's like, no, I'm doing a new thing. I'm going to show you some things that's just going to blow your mind.
And then, of course, at the end of it, too, after he's been caught and openly admitted to pocketing $1.3 million for his betterment, all he was saying at this point was that he hopes that God will bring unto him a miracle and give those who invested into the product their money's worth.
What we're praying for and what we're believing for still is that God is going to do a miracle. God is going to work a miracle in the financial sector.
Look, buddy, I'm going to tell you something. If you think God was the one that told you to make this cryptocurrency, if you think God was the one that told you to tell your people to invest in this cryptocurrency, and if you think God told you to go out of your way to pull half the money out that was invested into this cryptocurrency and use it for your own selfish needs, do you really think God is going to give you a miracle in the sense of paying these people back? I don't think so. I think God is going to punish you for what you've done. Now, I myself am not that much of a religious person, but I also have enough of a respect to where if I'm going to be using God's name to do something scummy such as this, I deserve whatever's coming, right? And this guy, unfortunately, for him and his wife, doing this unto these poor people that thought they were going to be making money out of this, just as much as anybody who has invested in crypto, they don't deserve this kind of fate, and you definitely should not have used their money for your own benefit. And asking God for a miracle or saying things that like, oh, like God's mission isn't over yet, hey, there's still more to come. The only thing that's going to be coming is you behind bars, probably, for scamming people out of millions of dollars and then using that money for yourself. And if that's your mission, if that's your life lesson that you need to learn, then by all means, go right ahead. But I think whether if you were intentionally scamming your people or did it out of the kindness of your heart and thought that people were going to be lifted up together, using Bible passages, using God as a means of saying that we are going to get wealthy together by reciting Bible verses and telling people that those Bible verses can be translated into purchasing my cryptocurrency. You're delusional.
That you are saved, that, and the more you said it, the more you stood on it, the more you speak it, the more it started changing your life. It's the same thing, you guys, with your finances. It's the same thing, you guys, with the wisdom for whatever that next step.
And the people who followed, unfortunately, have this delusion as well. And it's sad. I feel so bad for these people, regardless of the fact of, like, okay, if it's someone like a Logan Paul who's doing scummy stuff, I still feel bad for those kinds of people, right? But there's a level of stupidity for everybody, right? There's a level of stupidity. But in the sense with this, it's literally somebody in your community who is revered in a religious sense, right? In a pious sense. This is your pastor. This is your person who you look towards to read you the scriptures and to teach you life lessons based on God's word. And you put your faith into a man like this who, unfortunately, probably for some of these people, financially crippled them. And they have no means to be able to recover. It hurts. And it's going to damage, if not already damage, the image that he has created unto his people. And they're going to leave and go find somebody else while he, unfortunately, rots in prison for the actions that he's done. So yeah, add that to your list of crypto scammers too, because this guy, whoo, man. Like, you thought it was just big people on YouTube and all that stuff creating crypto scams? No, sirree, man. Your own church is probably investing in some stuff. And I'm going to tell you straight out right now. If you have a pastor, if you have a priest, if you have a monk who made his own cryptocurrency and is telling you to invest in it because God said so, find a different place to go worship God. Change religions. Do whatever is necessary to get out of that area, because crypto is not going anywhere anytime soon. It had its window back in 2020, 2021, but that ship has long sailed. So I'm sorry for all those who invested in this coin, and I hope you get what you deserve, Eli, for what you've done to your own people. So other than that, I'm pretty much done. If you like this video, like it. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. I'll keep making videos like this as often as I can. I'll catch all y'all later. Peace.